This is Mr. X and Mr. Y. In their town, it is widely known that Mr. X and Mr. Y hate each other. Mr. X has been known to declare on several occasions that the only reason he doesn't murder Mr. Y is because murder is illegal. Mr. Y claims that sometime in the near future he will hit Mr. X with a shovel and leave him for dead beside a pickup truck. At very, very best, Mr. X and Mr. Y agree to disagree. But it wasn't always this way. Mr. X and Mr. Y used to be very good friends. They would drink coffee with Mr. O and Mr. C, Mr. B and Mr. U, until one day Mr. O came up with an idea. Everyone knows it's much better being a vowel, he petitioned to Mr. C. You're already 3/4 an O, he said. Why not just complete the circle? Strength in numbers, you know. Mr. C considered this. Truth be told, he didn't like his lot in life. His letter began words like crappy, cancer, cornhole, and cockwash. It was poor-paying work, so he had to pick up an extra job as the symbol for sense. Mr. C agreed to Mr. O's idea, and soon there were 2 O's in town. They collaborated on exciting words like room and boom. They also had lucrative work as the symbol for infinity. Wasn't that a great idea? Exclaimed Mr. X. What O and C did. What did they do? Asked Mr. Y, oblivious. They joined forces, replied Mr. X. Mr. C is now an O. All it took was a small curved section like this. Now look at you, Y. Turn your leg a bit and add a slash. And now you're an X. Think of what we could accomplish. This did not sit well with Mr. Y. We could accomplish one thing and one thing alone, Mr. Y retorted. Porno. And maybe some exercise work. The wife and I are trying to have some lowercase y's, explained Mr. Y. I'm not going to change to X, especially to do porno. It's exciting work, pleaded Mr. X. You know what I mean. I'm a family man, retorted Mr. Y. And then Mr. X spoke the words that started it all. Do this with me, or it will be the end of you. I'm a family man, Mr. Y repeated. Soon, the whole town knew about Mr. X's pornographic aspirations. Mr. X felt like the village flasher, a dirty old man, a pervert. Why would a family man want work such as that? Asked the townsfolk. With so much opportunity in Roman numerals, others added. Mr. X now knew he must murder Mr. Y. There was really no choice for either of them. Inspiration struck him in the bathroom. He would need an alibi. He would have 5 of the most notable letters in Nountown. He would use their vices against them. Mr. X would slow down time itself. He would trap the unsuspecting letters in a prison of their own perceptions. Mr. X would throw a party. Mr. X is having a party tonight, reported Mrs. Y. Mrs. W says even the S's and the T's will attend. Mr. Y considered this. Mr. S and Mr. T were widely used prestigious letters. They were always busy and had never attended any party Mr. Y had thrown. So what? Exclaimed Mr. Y. They're just curious, morbidly curious. They just want to see the kind of train wreck he's become, Mr. Y assured himself. Myself, Mr. Y declared, I'd like to hit him over the head with a shovel. Leave him for dead beside a pickup truck. A pickup truck, a foreign make preferably, Mr. Y clarified. Mr. Y had always been something of a misguided patriot. Stop that talk, laughed Mrs. Y. You're a family man. You shouldn't talk like that. If I'm a family man, where's my family? Asked Mr. Y with a devilish smile. Would you like to work on some lowercase letters? Mrs. Y queried. That suited Mr. Y just fine.